Hey guys, welcome back to this new video. Some of you know, I guess most of you, that in the next part, like the next series of the channel, we are going to be making Discord bots. So for that, we need to get familiar with some basics, and some of that is playing around with lists. So we are also going to have a playing around with strings video next. So these videos are pretty fundamental. In case you ever don't understand in the future Discord bot videos what we are doing, then you have to come back and check these videos. So that is because in everything in Discord, the bot reacts based on a message, and a message is nothing but a string. That's why we need to know how to play around with lists and strings. So first, let us sort a list. So I will make a list with numbers. So it's applicable to only those lists which have numbers as their content. So I'll just make a random list containing various numbers and then we'll move on. So AVL is equal to 4, 223, 32, 1121. So that's our list. And as you can see, this is a very random list, and now let's sort it. So we know our list contents, but this will be extremely useful and helpful when we do not have access to the contents of the list and we need to sort it. For sorting, we use this dot sort attribute. It has an argument. You can pass in an argument called reverse. So like reverse is equal to true or reverse is equal to false. So I'll get to that in a minute. So let's type the first one, sort first. So AVL dot sort. Okay, so before that I'll just print str AVL. So that's quickly going to convert our list into a string and print it. So I'll just put in there original list. Okay, so now I will do avl.sort. So this time what we are doing is just sort. We're not going to use the reverse attribute, and we are going to check what it does. So print str avl plus sorted normally. Okay, so on side I have my ideally open. So now I'm going to run this and show it to you guys. So here it goes. See, so the original list is the same as what we entered: 4, 223, 32, 1121. And when it's sorted, it has been by default ascending order sorted. So 4, 32, 223 and 1121. Okay, so now let's try using the reverse attribute, and the result will explain itself. So there is a relation between the usual sort and one of the reverse functions. So here we go, reverse is equal to true. Alright, and here reverse is equal to true. Okay, so now let's reopen the file in ideally and run it. So here we go. See, so when you do reverse is equal to true, as the name says, it's going reverse in a descending order. You can just compare it from here. This was ascending, sorted normally, and this is reverse is equal to true, which is descending. So now let's just do the same otherwise, and I'm sure you know what the result is going to be. It's obviously going to be an ascending order, what default sort also does by itself. So here we go. See, so sorted normally and reverse is equal to false is the same thing, because reverse is descending order and we did not want that. We put it as false. So now let us move on. So next we will be moving on to the remove and add attribute. So it's not literally remove and add, dot remove, dot append and dot insert. So these are three attributes I'm going to show you, and let's get started with that. So I will just leave this, I will just cut it, delete, and let's make a new list. AV list is equal to hello, okay, capital H, hello, good morning, how are you, and fine. Okay, so we know that a list in Python starts from 0 and not 1, and we should always remember that. So for remove, we'll first assign a variable equal to the list item that we want and then do dot remove. So x is equal to avlist 0. 0 is the first one, which is supposed to be hello. Okay, so now let's print str avlist plus o for original, and now let's do avlist dot remove x. Remember that this time, although we are removing from a list, we won't use square brackets. We don't want to check the item, we want to remove it, and we are already defined what to remove, so it's normal brackets, curly brackets. So now let's just print this, print str avlist plus r. So r for remove, we just removed it. Okay, so I'll run this now quickly. Here we go. So let's run this. So the first list, original, hello, good morning, how are you, fine, and we defined x as the first list item, which is 0, and that is why hello got removed with the dot remove attribute. So I hope that was clear, and now let's move ahead. So here now I'm just going to change it here itself. So x is equal to av creators, oh sorry, yeah, and here I'm going to do dot append. And append, what it does, it just attaches what we have specified in the brackets into the list. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't check where to place it, just places it at the end. So let's just check it out. Here we go. Okay, so you saw by append it went to the end of the list. So now let's use insert, which can insert our value to the desired position, and let's just change this to discord.py. So that's our next series name. So let's just put it, and dot insert. Now what this takes is first the position. So like we did in the square brackets, avlist 0, so like the first item, like that, it takes the position. So if I put 1, is going to be in place of good morning now, and let's insert x. Okay, and let's run this. It's really simple, guys, and that's why it's these basic stuff that if we remember, we're going to progress ahead. Here, so in place of good morning, you can see we have inserted discord.py successfully. So insert was that. So let's just run a quick recap. Here we use dot sort with nothing in the brackets, so that gave it ascending order. Here we did reverse is equal to true, and we got a descending order. Obviously reverse is equal to true will mean that, and reverse is equal to false, we got ascending order once again, which we can obviously get by just using sort. So you need not define reverse is equal to false. So here we had our default list, and here we had removed the first item. Here similarly the list, and we had appended an item which puts it at the end, and here we use insert, which puts it at a particular position. So now before we end this video, I want to show you something, how to make a list into a nice looking string. So this is like literally printing the way we define a list. What if we want to make it into one sentence? I'm going to show you that right now. So here, for this, I'm going to be making a new list quickly. So here we go. This is AV creators latest video. Now suppose, don't take it like this, like here we are knowing what we are going to place in that, but suppose like a user inputs some random message or like a string, or maybe just gives you different attributes, or sorry, gives you different what do you say, pieces of text or numbers to append into a list, and then you want to return what is the final thing that they entered, so like a sentence. So for this, let's make a function called convert. It doesn't have to be convert, but for convenience I'm naming it what it does. So in this we are going to put in two arguments, list and separator. Okay, so there are videos on like what are functions and how to insert function arguments. I'll link one in the description, you can go watch that in case you're confused. So here we are going to do we are going to define it a variable. So str is equal to separator dot join list. So you can do this outside also, but rather than doing it every time, it's best to like define a function beforehand and then call it whenever we need to. Okay, so return str. So we need to like get the str variable into the main code, that's why return. Now return str, sorry. Okay, so separator is equal to space, so a single space, that will make it this is AV creators latest video in a sentence. And if we put like backslash n, if you know, this takes the text to the next line, and this it will be this next line is next line AV and so on. So here I'll just put a single space, and I will make it final is equal to str convert. We are calling the function and we are inputting AV list, which is the list, and separator, which is the separator. Okay, now let's print final. Okay, and here I'll also print out str AV list. Now you're going to see what a difference it makes, and this is extremely going to be useful in discord.py. So see, this is a list with all those like quotes and commas and the square brackets coming in between, and here see, this is a nice sentence and you never knew it was even a list. So I'll just quickly show you how backslash n will work. Okay, so let's just reopen the file and let's see. See, as I told you, it's going to go into the next line. So what it does is, between each of the list item, it separates it by whatever we give. So suppose it's a space, it just inserts a space and removes all quotes, square brackets and commas. So guys, that was it. You might find like this kind of stuff boring, but the point is, if we are good at such basics, I'm repeating, we won't face any problems further ahead. So that's all for this video guys. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications, because the further videos that are going to come are going to be quite interesting and are going to be helpful. So that's all guys, and bye.